the Senators, it will be the leadoff hitter will be Hank Kern, the left fielder, Miguel Campos, the center fielder, and Noah Gallagher, the shortstop. Let me set the generals for you defensively. Caden Siegel behind the plate, Alex Wagstaff down at first, Aiden Moran at second, Spencer Scott at shortstop, and Kenji Lambden at third base. Cooper Shaw will be in left field. I had a chance to talk to him about that catch to end the game the other night, and I'll tell you about that in a little while. Will Bachman will be in center, and Jackson Farr in right. It's senior night, and the 5 seniors for the Grant Generals were honored before we started the game. Aiden Moran, Will Bachman, Kenji Lambden, Boone Rush, and Caden Patterson. In fact, before we started, Caden Patterson's grandmother stopped me to remind me that it was senior night and that her grandson was a senior.
You go sit with your friends.
Rush, the left-hander on the mound, Siegel behind the plate. Walker Stadium, it's a great day for baseball. Shadows are in the outfield deep. Dave Hall along with Ryan Johnson, our producer engineer. And we're set to go. Hank Kern, the left-handed hitter. I talked to Eric Bennett, the coach of the Senators, before we started here tonight. He had an emergency in the family. Coach Fossbinder is running the team. Boone Rush on the mound. We're going to have the first pitch. Sets, fires, outside, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. First hitter, Hank Kern. Kern, left-handed hitter in the box, ready to go. The pitch. There's a strike, cut the outside corner. Boone Rush headed to Lynn Benton to play baseball next year. 1-1 the count. There's a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rush sets, fires. There's a strike, cut the outside corner again. 2-2 the count. Rush hit the outside corner now on 2 pitches in this at bat. Rush fires. There's a ball in the dirt. Throw down to first and gets away from Wagstaff. Swung at the pitch, it was a strike, but Siegel couldn't hang on to it, so the runner was down to first. And this brings up the center fielder, Miguel Campos. Right-handed hitter, puts a bunt down. Rush picks it up, looks at second, gonna go to first, and retires Campos.
Number 11, Noah Gallagher now batting for the Senators.
So Kern goes down to second on the sacrifice bunt. Campos out at first, 1 out, 1 on at second base. This is the number 3 hitter, number 11, Noah Gallagher, the shortstop. In the box, right-handed hitter. Outside, ball 1. Rush took a look down to second base on that play, decided that he couldn't get there, went to first. We're just underway, top of the first. Pitch high and outside. 2-0 the count. Thanks for joining us here on Oregon Sports Beat. It's been a great year covering the Generals. A chance for them tonight to clinch the PIL title. Lincoln has 2 losses. There's a swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lincoln has 2 losses. Grant has 2 games left, so a win in either this game or the next game against Madison, and they clinched the PIL title. By the way, those 2 Lincoln losses, they're to Grant. Two balls, 1 strike, inside, and it hit him. Hit the batter. So Gallagher down to first.
Now up to the plate for Madison, number 20, Elijah Newman.
So Kern at second, Gallagher at first. 1 out. This is the cleanup hitter, Elijah Newman, the catcher. Right-handed hitter, number 20. Rush set. The pitch fouled back into the net. Strike 1. Shortstop, second baseman deep. Rush set. Fires. There's a strike right down the middle. No balls, 2 strikes. Newman looked like he was taken all the way, and the pitch was right down the pipe. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. Top of the first, no score. Outside, ball 3. Rush has a place to put this batter, but it'd load up the bases. Set. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout. That's the second out. Two on, 2 out. This is the pitcher, Huckster. Rush set. There's a foul tip. Strike 1. Boone Rush takes a look back, fires. There's the strike, 0-2. Stir was taken all the way. All right, Boone Rush from the stretch. Fires, low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And time, catcher wants to go out and talk. Caden Siegel headed out to mound to talk to Rush. Shortstop, Aiden Moran will come in too. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. So the umpire will head out. He's going to break up the conversation, and he does. Siegel back behind the plate. Moran's going to keep the runner close at second base. Doesn't want that runner to get a big lead and score on a single. The pitch, sidearm, ball hit sharply to short, toss over to second, and there's the force out, and the side's retired. Six to 4 on the force out. No runs, no hits, 2 runners left on base. We've completed a half an inning here at Walker Stadium at Lentz Park, and our score is Madison nothing, Grant nothing. Grant coming to bat. For the Generals, leading off, it'll be Will Bachman, the center fielder, Kenji Lambden, the third baseman, and Alex Wagstaff, the first baseman. Coach Kobza has pretty much kept that batting order intact for some time now. As you know, the Generals now have won 16 in a row. They're 17-4 on the season. They started off 1-4 and now have reeled off 16 straight wins. Huckster on the mound. He is a right-handed pitcher. Throws over the top. Defensively, I'll set the Senators for you. Stir on the mound. Newman behind the plate. Smith at first. Fields at second. Gallagher at shortstop. Morales at third. Across the outfield, it's Kern, Campos, and Dalton. Coach Bennett for the Senators told me one of their pitchers had a hand injury and won't be going, so we're just about completing our warm-up tosses for the pitcher, Stir. Here's the throw coming down. Nope, not going to do it. All right, Bachman's going to step in. Will Bachman, right-handed hitter. Number 13. Leadoff hitter, Kenji Lambden on deck. Both of those two seniors, they were honored before the game started. Off-speed pitch for Stir, and it's a strike. No balls, 1 strike. There's a pitch caught the inside corner. Another off-speed pitch, no balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball hit high in the air to left field. And let's see. That was caught by the left fielder. He was in the shadows, that's why I lost him for just a second. Caught by the left fielder, first out. So Kern with the ball. I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, but the shadows are right at the wall out there in left field. Lambden at the plate, 1 down. The ball is 1 strike, 1 out. Lambden fouls that back. There's a ball chopped into center field. Center fielder underneath the calls for it and has it. So a fly out to left, a fly out to center, and we got 2 down. And this brings up Alex Wagstaff, the first baseman, left-handed hitter. Wagstaff in the box. The pitch outside and high. Ball 1. 2 hard hit balls for the Generals and 2 outs. There's a pitch just outside. There's another pitch outside. Three balls, no strikes, 2 out. Wagstaff set. The pitch. And there's the strike. Caught the outside corner. 3-1. Three balls, one strike, one out. Or, I'm sorry, two outs. That high and away, and there's a walk. Wagstaff headed down to first. Spencer Scott, the cleanup hitter, the shortstop, right-handed hitter, steps into the box. First runner for the Generals, and it's Wagstaff on a walk. Scott, the pitch. Outside, there's a throw back down to first. Wagstaff back. Scott back in the box. Stir, the pitch. There's a hard hit ball. Third baseman drops it, back up with it to throw across, and out at first. Close play. Scott grounds out 5-3. And so that finishes the first inning for the Grant Generals. No runs, no hits, one runner left on base. And so at the end of one, our score is Madison nothing, Grant nothing. Senators coming up, and coming up for the Senators, it'll be the six-hitter Pat Dalton, the right fielder, followed by the first baseman Darius Smith, and then the second baseman Curtis Fields. And they'll face Boone Rush on the mound.
What is that? Trivia. Nobody's listening. Trivia question is, when is the last time? Oh my God. Right here, right here. You have the answer?
Too much baseball talent right here.
Oh.
How you doing, Jeff?
How are you, man?
Hey, bud. All right.
How are you?
Great.
Not 2007.
I know. You were blocking my way. I'm like,
Have to win it out.
it was you. And I was like, I know him.
By
He's
themselves.
going to baseball, it looks like. So I'm like, I'm good. I'll get out of your way.
All right, Boone Rush going through his warm-up. Siegel with the throw down to second.
It works out. Good seeing you. Jim, thanks for sending the emails out. It's good.
Yeah.
And this is the right fielder, Pat Dalton.
What do you think?
I don't think we play you guys.
Number 13, left-handed hitter in the box.
I don't know how hard it is. Use the same coaches every year. So usually two or three teams are awesome. 2 or 3 teams are less awesome. So.
Now batting for Madison, number 13, Pat Dalton.
Boone Rush, set.
Yeah, everybody gets a first round pick.
Outside, ball one.
Have a guess.
One ball, no strikes. First batter in the second inning here.
I mean, they're young enough, I think, like budgeting 12.
There's the ball fouled down the third baseline.
Pretty nice backpack. Keep going.
I think so.
1 ball, 1 strike.
15?
Nope.
2017? No.
Longer ago.
2002?
High.
1? 2005? No, no, no.
2 balls, 1 strike.
2005? I said 2005.
No, you didn't. You said 07.
You said 07,
I was waiting. Believe me, I was listening.
Can I get that?
There's going to be another one. There's going to be a question after every.
2 and 1 the count.
Hey, you're right here.
There's the ball fouled back into the netting, even the count up at 2 and
You're
2.
going to get it right. The next one for sure.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter here on the top of the second. Pat Dalton. Swing and a miss. And there is a strikeout swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Boone Rush.
Yeah, Brady, you remember Jim? How's school? How's it now?
1 down. This is the number 7 hitter, number 19, the first baseman, Darius Smith. Right-handed hitter. Rush starts him off with a strike. And there's another strike.
Hey, how are you, brother?
Low, but caught the strike zone. 0-2 the count.
We had to get surgery Wednesday.
And a swing and a miss. Second consecutive strikeout for Boone Rush. This will bring up the number 8 hitter. Number 5, the second baseman, Curtis Fields. Right-handed hitter. Rush looks.
I know, dude.
Swing and a miss.
Got the gun down there, popping 77, 78. 68 on the curve.
Another swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. A strikeout away from striking out the side.
Strikeout pitch.
Rush set. Fires. That ball fouled down the third baseline. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Top of the second, no score. Grant, Madison. Madison at the plate. The pitch, high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curtis Fields at the plate. All right, the ball bounced away from the catcher. The umpire signaled that was a ball. The count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Rush set, fires, and I'm sorry, the last pitch was not a ball, it was a foul tip. Now it's 3-2. So 3-2 the count now. Rush sets, fires, and there's a called third strike. Struck out the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors,
220 to 240.
nobody left on base. After an inning and a half here at Walker Stadium, our score is Madison nothing, Grant nothing. Grant coming to bat, and up for the Generals, it'll be the number 5 hitter Caden Siegel, followed by Boone Rush, and then Aiden Moran. Siegel, Rush, and Moran do up for the Generals. They'll face Stir, the pitcher.
What's up, B? Yeah, dude, no, I'm kind of.
Just he had some scar tissue that they before doing the full
Great day here at Walker Stadium.
Yeah, he won't pitch next year.
Portland Pickles play here. They haven't started play yet. Field is in great shape.
What year is this?
Leading off the inning for the Generals, number 17, Caden Siegel.
Caden Siegel, the number 5 hitter, the catcher. Stir sets, fires. And there's a ball. Ball 1, high. 1 ball, no strikes. That ball outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out. Bottom of the second. Inside. Whoops, caught the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Okay, 3 balls and 1 strike. Siegel. 3 balls, 1 strike. And there's a swing and a miss. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes. Siegel outside, and that's ball 4. So Siegel down to first base. Rush, Boone Rush, the pitcher. All right, we got a pinch runner. Runner for Siegel.
And I'm not your son. That's like Santa Barbara's like work. Because it's just, I used to go there and I'm like, there's no way. As a 19
I think that was number 9 down there. I think that's Kai Kiyakawa. Rush at the plate, runner on first, nobody out, bottom of the second. There's an off-speed pitch down the middle for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Thanks for joining us here at Oregon Sports Beat. The shadows now are moving in towards the infield. Rush. There's a little chopper down to first base, fielded by the first baseman over, touches first. Runner down to second. Siegel goes down to second. And that'll bring up Aiden Moran, the second baseman. Rush and Moran are 2 of the seniors we talked about, 2 of the 5 seniors. Bachman, Lambden, Rush, Moran, and Patterson. So, runner down at second. There's a pitch for a strike. So Moran looks at the first strike. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on down at second. No score, bottom of the second. There's a pitch low in the dirt, even the count up at 1-1.
Totally different than UCSB.
Moran set. Outside, ball 2, 2 balls, 1 strike.
So I texted Miller, told him after where the game was because I wanted to drop the order. Yeah. He was, what are you guys scared? He was joking. He was saying, like, are you guys scared? You coming out there?
The pitch. That ball low. 3 balls and 1 strike.
He thought I was going to his game.
Stur has already walked 1 batter in this inning. He walked Siegel, the first hitter.
I got some good pictures of it.
And there's a ball high. There's another walk. That's going to send Moran down to first. So now runners at first and second. And this is the left fielder, Cooper Shaw. He made that great catch against Lincoln the other night. I had a chance to talk to him before the game, and I said, how deep were you? And he said, I had my back against the wall. Shaw in, 2 on. The pitch, there's a ball fouled back. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out. That was the ground out. Rush. Shaw in the box. There's another ball fouled straight back into the net.
One was here. I walked literally right in. First pitch. I'm like, no way that's the first pitch. So first pitch. I'm like, oh my God. That was my introduction to that kid. And he is a...
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on.
Looks like a
Stir the pitcher, set,
You see his thighs.
delivers. There's another ball fouled
The
back.
definition of his pants, you see who he's on baseball pants. Cooney, right? Christian Cooney.
The ball's in 2 strikes, 5 pitches already to Shaw.
Just like the Bulls. Right? 'Cause I think his mom and dad is African American. But it's insane. He's sick.
Another pitch fouled back. That's 4 balls fouled back for Shaw.
Got the dude, one kid, it's a coach's grandson.
Nice crowd here tonight at Walker Stadium. It was senior night before the game started. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Shaw set. There's another ball, and that ball hit right field. Comes up with it. When a throw back to first. Runner gets back. So second out, a fly out to right field for Shaw. And this is going to bring up the DH, Caden Patterson. Patterson, one of the 5 seniors. He's DHing. He's hitting for the right fielder, Jackson Farr, number 3.
They had a kid that couldn't pitch.
Patterson in the box. Swing and a miss.
He brought him in. They thought that they rested.
No balls, 1 strike.
No, it wasn't 92. No, I don't think it was. You can look it up. Yeah, I don't think it was 92. You can look it up.
That ball high, even the count up at 1-1. Kiyakawa down at second. He's running for Siegel. Moran down at first. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out.
Yeah, no, you can. He threw a pitch, and then
There's a ball hit right or left fielder, and left fielder comes in, makes the catch. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, hang on. No, that ball was not caught. That ball bounced in front of the left fielder. It's a base hit and drives in a run. Patterson with a hit to left field. I'm sorry that I lost that in the shadow there.
yeah, that happened. I wasn't even at that game. Wasn't even at that game. That would've been-
It sends Moran down to second, Patterson to first. There's another ball hit to left field. And that ball caught.
Oh, dude. They realized that.
So Bachman has flied out to the left fielder twice. So let me set this for you. That's 1 run on 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. And at the end of 2 now, our score is Grant 1, Madison nothing. Senators coming into bat here in the top of the 3rd. And they will send up to the plate the number 9 hitter, Caleb Morales. And then we'll go back to the top of the order, Hank Kern and Miguel Campos.
Oh, that's cheating.
Okay. You gotta give me a prize.
There's a second prize if you can name who Macau's baseball coach was.
Oh, who's the coach?
Thanks for joining us. Walker Stadium, Lentz Park, home of the Portland Pickles. I'm Dave Hall for Portland for Oregon Sports Beat.
Which one is
Boone Rush on the mound for the Generals.
who was it? I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Hey, you already got backpack.
I should text Caden.
No
but that's
double.
cheating.
What do you want? 2?
Yeah,
No
I should
double
text
wins,
Caden,
brother.
but that's cheating.
Hey, is that a foul ball?
Eric Bennett headed down to the third base coaching box.
Run it down to the dugout.
This is the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, well,
Number 7, Caleb Morales, the third
I heard
baseman,
about that night. And then they wanted to suspend.
facing Boone Rush, top of the 3rd.
Because that's one of the penalties. Because like there used to be people doing it on purpose.
but did the other coach say,
No, the other coach agreed. He said, "Oh, just take him out." That was the worst about it. He's like, "Oh, really?"
Pitch caught the inside corner. No balls, 1 strike.
Like, you know what? Just don't even worry about it. Just do it. Oh yeah. I don't. Yeah.
There's a pitch inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Count even, 1-1. First hitter here in the top of the 3rd. Swing and a miss. Rush has struck out 3 in a row, 4 for the game. There's a ball foul down the first baseline. 0-2 the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Grant leads this game 1-0.
Hold your juice. Hold your fluids.
Hello, Emily. Hi, AJ.
What's up, E? Adrian, thank you very much for bringing the boys. Yeah. What's up, dude? How are you? Hey,
The pitch, way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So they had a couple.
There's a swing and a miss, and there's 4 straight strikeouts. We'll go back to the top of the order, and this is Hank Kern, the left fielder. He reached first on an error to lead off this game and then was sacrificed down to second, then left on base. Kern in the box facing the left-hander Rush. There's a pitch inside, slow curve. One out. Swing and a miss. And Rush has settled in now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I know they were right next to you.
we love so hard.
Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the third. Rush set, fires. Ball foul down the left field line.
Yeah, Lee wanted a break, huh?
No, she just had work to do. She's like, I have to work one day. At least.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch in the dirt.
Hey, buddy. How are you? Yeah? How's baseball?
All right, full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Rush set. Inside, ball 4. That breaks a string of 4 straight strikeouts. So Kern goes down to first. This is the center fielder, Miguel Campos. He grounded out in the first. Throw over to first. Runner gets back. Rush from the stretch. Fires. Another ball fouled back. Campos steps in. No balls, 1 strike. Rush looks over at first. Comes home. There's the ball hit, popped up. First baseman calls for it. Wagstaff has it.
Is it?
So pop out to the first baseman. Kern had to get back. He stayed right there. This will bring up the number 3 hitter, the shortstop, Noah Gallagher. 1 on, 2 out. Top of the third, 1-0 Generals. Throw over to first. Kern gets back. Wagstaff holding him over there. Kern gets a little bigger lead. There's the ball sliced into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Kern's going to hold up at second. And there's the throw, hits the cutoff. So a single for Gallagher. Kern goes down to second. Gallagher at first. Cleanup hitter coming up. This is Elijah Newman, the catcher. He struck out in the first. One of the 5 strikeouts for Rush here. There's a pitch just high for a ball. There's a ball, gets by the catcher. Pass ball, everybody moves up a base. No, I'm sorry. Hit the batter. That's the reason it got free. It hit the batter.
Really? Oh, yeah. That's right.
So it hit Newman.
Show off the laps, right?
Gallagher goes down to second. Kern goes down to third. Bases loaded with 2 out.
Looking good.
This is the number 5 hitter, the pitcher, Stir, a chance to help his own cause. The pitch, high and outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes, bases loaded, top of the third, 2 out, popped up. Bachman, the center fielder, calling for it and has it. So, in the top of the third, no runs. 1 hit, 3 runners left on base. And we've completed 2.5 in our score here at the end of 2.5. It is Grant 1, Madison nothing. Grant coming up here in the bottom of the third. Due up for the Generals, Kenji Lambden, Alex Wagstaff, and Spencer Scott. All right, bottom of the third, 1-0 still Generals. Lambden, Wagstaff, and Scott, the meat of the order for the Generals. Rush survives a scare there, had the bases loaded. As I mentioned earlier, the Generals are undefeated in PIL action. Lincoln has 2 losses, both to the Generals. Generals have 2 games left. This game and another game with Madison, win either one, and they clinch the PIL championship. Coach Cobb's not here tonight. He has a family emergency. Coach Bossbinder running the team. We had a nice chat about the win over Lincoln the other night. Kenji Lambden fight out to center in the first.
I've been walking around politicking.
Outside, ball 1. We'll be at Delta Park tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It's a lacrosse match, a girls lacrosse match. There's a little nubber. It's in front. Catcher picks it up, down to first, and got Lambden. Ball went about 5 feet. Ground out 2-3, and this brings up Wagstaff, the left-handed hitter. Did we have a painting class today? Okay, our producer Ryan Johnson's got paint on his hands. Either we were painting a picture or painting a house. Okay. Wagstaff in the box. He singled in the first inning. Looks at a pitch for a strike. Quite a few Grant fans here. There's the ball hit sharply. That's going to be another base hit for Wagstaff, lined into right field. Wagstaff 2 for 2. I'm sorry, let me back up. Wagstaff walked in the first inning. So he has a hit and a walk. Scott up. Spencer Scott, the shortstop. Grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning. Throw over to first. Wagstaff gets back. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Grant. High and inside. Ball 1. Scott, the cleanup hitter. Caden Siegel on deck. That ball low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. No strikeouts for Stir. Rush has 5 for Grant. There's a strike. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Grant. Inside, ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. There's a ball, hit to second base. Second baseman drops it, scoops it back up, can't go to the throw. Safe at first. Wagstaff moves down to second. Scott safe on first on an error. This will bring up the catcher, Caden Siegel. Siegel walked in the second and scored a run. There's a ball, popped up. Pitcher comes over for it, and the pitcher takes that. Not very often you see the pitcher catch a pop-up. 2 out, 2 on, 2 out, and this brings up Boone Rush. He grounded back to the pitcher in the second. 2 out, 2 on.
Number 7, Boone Rush, now batting for the Generals.
Rush. In the box. Stir, set. Pitching from the stretch. Takes a look back at second. Comes home. And Rush fouls that back. It's not going to be in play, though. Back bounces right by us. Our producer, Ryan Johnson's on the DL. He can't go chase that ball and catch it. You're going to have to stick your glove out there and catch it. The pitch There's a ball hit out to the outfield between right and center. It drops. It drops for a hit. Rush headed down to second. 1 run in. Here comes the other runner. And 2 runs in. Rush with a RBI double, 2 RBIs. So Wagstaff scores from second. Scott scores from first on the double. Rush down to second on the double. 2 in. 3-0 now our score. Grant leads. Bottom of the third, 2 out. At the plate, this is Aiden Moran, the second baseman. There's the ball hit sharply to the shortstop. Going to be a long throw over to first, and just in time. Ground out, 6-3. That retires the side. So for Grant in the third, 2 runs, 2 hits.
Wow.
1 runner left on base, and our score after 3. It's Grant 3, Madison nothing. Coming up for the Senators, it will be the number 6 hitter, Pat Dalton, followed by Darius Smith, the first baseman, and Curtis Fields, the second baseman. We got a nice crowd here, and I had a chance to circulate with the crowd before the game started, and I ran into a couple who are a legend in Portland sports, Jack and Mary Kane. Jack, the former owner of the Portland Beavers when the AAA ball club was here and the single A ball club was here. Longtime baseball aficionado in the Portland area. Jack said he came to watch Grant.
Grant varsity player has been all-state, first team all-state in the last 2 years.
I reminded Jack that back in the early 90s when I was on the air doing a call-in sports talk show every day, I talked baseball because it's my favorite sport, and Jack said to me, Dave, why don't you come and play on the Portland Beavers Old-Timers team? And so for about 2 years I played on the Portland Old-Timers team with some of the legends of baseball in the Portland area.
That's a bad sign.
I'm not sure they close number 13, Pat Dalton.
All right, Pat Dalton at the plate, the left-hander. Top of the fourth,
I know.
rush set.
Maybe in between them.
There's a ball fouled over towards the third base dugout. Dalton struck out in the second. In fact, he led off the 3 batters who struck out in the second. 5 strikeouts in the game for Boone Rush. Top of the fourth, Dalton, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. There's a pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Set. Slow curveball, just misses the outside corner. Evens the count up at 2-2. There's a chopper down to third base. Lambden over to first, retires the batter. Ground out 5-3. And Darius Smith, the first baseman, is up. He also struck out in the second.
Sean. Hey. That kid right there. He came up to answer the question. He didn't get it right.
There's a pitch, a strike.
You got to get him.
Off-speed pitch.
I think it was him.
No balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, I think it was him.
Rush. There's a ball fouled back.
John, he needs the right answer. You got to tell him the answer.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Playing third base.
Rush fires sidearm. There's a ball hit down to first base. Wagstaff comes up with it unassisted over to first, and 2 out.
One of these guys. Was it you?
So 2 down. This brings up Curtis Fields, the second baseman.
Curtis Fields batting for the Senators.
Top of the 4th, 3-0. Grant leads, 2 out. Curtis Fields at the plate.
Here, here.
It's Schmidt.
Senators have 1 hit in the game, and that was by Noah Gallagher, the shortstop.
Oh, go over there and ask him. Yeah,
Outside.
All state the last 2 years.
It's Fetcher. It's Fetcher. It's Kump.
2 balls, no strikes.
On Grant. What player on Grant?
The pitch. There's a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out.
And it will eventually get it right.
Rush set, fires. There's a strike, cut the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball fouled back. Count will stay at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Nobody on. 3-0 Grant lead. Rush fires. Ball popped up behind first base. Wagstaff goes back, takes a look. It's going to be out of play. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Rush has gone the distance, struck out 5. Close pitch. Ball 4, though. Second walk of the game for Boone Rush. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. At the plate, this is Caleb Morales. He struck out to start the 3rd. There's a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Runner gets a lead down there at first. There's a ball hit by the third baseman. That's going to be a base hit down the left field line. Runner's going to go to third. There's a throw in towards the bag, safe, and a stand-up double. Morales with the double.
Top of the lineup for the Senators. Now batting number
So now runners down at second and third, and we'll go back to the top of the order. And this is Hank Kern. Kern reached base on an error in the first, walked in the third. Left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher, Rush. Slow curve, Siegel blocks it out in front. Runners all stay put. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. A swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rush got out of a jam before when he had the bases loaded. Now he's got runners on second and third with 2 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. There's a strike called, 3rd strike. Rush strikes out the batter. So, no runs. 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. And after 3.5, our score, Grant 3, Madison nothing. Coming up for the Generals, it'll be the number 8 hitter, Cooper Shaw, followed by Caden Patterson, and then Will Bachman. 6 strikeouts now in the game for Boone Rush as we head to the bottom of the 4th. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Let's see, Blazers play at 7:30. 7:30 gives us half an hour to do a couple more innings. It's going to be tight. All right, Cooper Shaw steps in. He flied out to right field in the second.
Number 21, Cooper Shaw, batting for the Generals.
There's a pitch, a strike, cut the outside corner. Two walks, 6 strikeouts for Boone Rush. There's a pitch outside, ball 2-0. Oh, I'm sorry, called a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside corner that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shaw steps in.
7-Eleven.
There's a ball. Hit the left field, left fielder underneath it and comes up with it. That's Kern. In the first out of the inning, Shaw flies out to the left fielder. And that's going to bring up Caden Patterson. Patterson singled in the second.
For the Generals, number 16, Caden Patterson.
Caden Patterson at the plate. First ball fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm sorry, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Set up outside, a swing and a miss. And Patterson strikes out. First strikeout of the game for Sturr, the pitcher. And we're going to go back to the top of the order. This is Bachman. Bachman flied out to center, or flied out to left in the first, flied out to left in the second. Squares away to bunt, pulls it back. The pitch was a strike. No balls, 1 strike. 2 out. There's the ball popped up to right field. Right fielder underneath it and comes up with the catch. That's Dalton. 1-2-3 inning. So no runs, no hits, nobody left on base after 4. Our score, Grant 3, Madison nothing. We're going to the top of the 5th. Due up for the Madison Senators, it will be the second hitter, Miguel Campos, then Noah Gallagher, who has
What high school did Grant coach
has one of the 2 hits, and then the cleanup hitter, Elijah Newman, the catcher.
what high school did Coach Michael Bassmaker go to? We'll also like to thank our youth program for coming out to watch on senior night.
Top of the 5th, 3-0 Grant.
Good luck to you
Boone
guys
Rush on the mound.
this season.
Miguel Campos, the center fielder, grounded back to the pitcher in the 1st, popped up to the first baseman in the 3rd. The umpire turned around. The music was still going. He signaled to the pitcher to pitch, and then figured out the music was still going. Turned around and did the little kill thing for the PA announcer to turn the music off. Outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. There's a ball hit to the shortstop. Scott up with it over to first and retired. Ground out, 6-3. This will bring up the number 3 hitter, Noah Gallagher, the shortstop. He was hit by a pitcher in the 1st, singled in the 3rd. Foul tip. Elijah Newman, the catcher, on deck. There's a little chop foul ball over towards third base. Newman, the on-deck hitter, is getting a workout chasing down these foul balls. And there's a pitch, popped out of the catcher's glove, but it was high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout, number 6 for Rush. All right, this is the cleanup hitter, Elijah Newman, number 20. He struck out in the 1st and was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. There's a ball hit sharply to third base. Lambden crossed the field and scooped by Wagstaff, and he's out. Nice dig there by Alex Wagstaff. 3 up, 3 down. Ground out, 5-3. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 4.5, our score here at Walker Stadium at Lentz Park. It is Grant 3, Madison nothing. Generals coming up here in the bottom of the fifth,
All spectators.
and it'll be Kenji Lambden, Alex Wagstaff, and Spencer Scott. All right, Sturr still on the mound for the Madison Senators. He's gone 4. He's given up 3 runs, 3 hits, struck out 1, and walked 2. Bottom of the 5th, 3-0 Grant. All right, again for the Generals, it's going to be Lambden, Wagstaff, and Scott. Kenji Lambden, number 19, the third baseman.
Leading off the inning for the Generals, number 19, KG Lambden.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. Sturr set, the right-hander. Another swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. There's the ball. Hit down to third base and off the third baseman's mitt. Goes back, and that's a base hit. Lambden's going to have a base hit on that.
Now batting number 14, Alex Wagstaff.
So Lambden will give him a base hit. A single down at first. Wagstaff at the plate. Wagstaff walked in the first, singled in the third, and scored a run. Left-handed hitter, throw over to first. Lambden gets back. I thought the third baseman, Morales, had scooped that, but it bounced off the heel of his glove. In any event, Lambden's first. High and outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Nobody out, 1 on. That's Lambden down at first. Wagstaff at the plate.
What's going on?
And throw over to first. Lambden gets back.
Okay, so in the refrigerator, there's 2 dishes on the top shelf. Super easy. All you gotta do is turn the oven on to 375.
There's a pitch and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lambden going. There's a throw down to second. Lambden in safe. Lambden down to second on a stolen base. So Lambden with a single, stole second. Now we got a runner in scoring position with nobody out. There's a ball fouled back into the net. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner down to second. Stir set. There's a ball fouled back. 2-2 still on the count. There's a ball hit down to second, over to first. Wagstaff retired, moves the runner up to third though. Ground out 4-3, and this brings up Spencer Scott. The shortstop, the cleanup hitter, grounded out in the first. Reached first on an error in the third and scored. He has one of the 3 runs scored by the Generals. He scored a run, Scott scored, and Siegel has scored. There's a ball loose. Catcher knocks it off and races over and picks it up. Lambden took a long look that time, thought about it for a second, saw it didn't go far enough and held up. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Let's see if Stir can work his way out of this. Pitch. Another ball in the dirt. Two balls, no strikes. Shadows have covered just about the entire field now. That pitch outside, 3 balls and no strikes. He's got a place to put Scott, but doesn't need any more base runners. The pitch, there's a strike. Scott was taken the whole way and Stir threw it right down the middle. 3 balls, 1 strike. Let's see if Scott has the green light here. That pitch is a strike, caught the inside corner. Surprised Scott, he backed away. The count is full. There's a ball hit down to third and through for a base hit into left field. That'll be an RBI. So Lambden scores 4-0.
Number 17, Caden Siegel up to the plate for the Generals.
So now runner down at first. Caden Siegel, the catcher, up. Walked in the second. Popped up to the pitcher in the third. Runner down at first, 4-0, 1 out. Throw over to first. Scott gets back. There goes the runner, and it's a foul ball. Scott was going. Siegel fouled it off. Might have been a hit and run on there. Bottom of the fifth, 4-0 Rams. Rams. Generals, they scored 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 here in the fifth.
Everybody.
Another throw over to first, and Scott gets back.
Is that your brother? Yeah, my brother's He's really bad and really immature. Okay. He's the only catch. Come on, Kaden! Let's go, Kaden!
Scott going again. There's a throw, and no, that's going to be off the mark. Scott steals second. Second stolen base of the inning. Lambden, if you recall, stole second after he got a base hit. Now Scott steals second after he had a base hit. So now a runner down at second. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, say that. Come on, Tootsie! Come on, Tootsie! Come on, Tootsie! That's excuse me.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout. Second out of the inning, Siegel strikes out swinging. And this brings up Boone Rush. He's got a couple of RBIs in the game. Grounded out back to the pitcher in the second, but doubled in the third and knocked in Wagstaff and Scott. Ball fouled back. Hit hard, but fouled back.
Because of him, Gavin on them hates
There's a pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Runner on second. That's Scott. Rush at the plate. Pops it up down the first base line and out of play. There's a hard hit ball, foul down third baseline. Rush still alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bottom of the fifth, 4-0 Generals. Rush at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Stir set from the stretch. Ball hit deep in the gap between left and center and off the wall. Run comes home. Stand-up double for Boone Rush and another RBI.
2 doubles.
2 doubles for Boone Rush and 3 RBIs.
Yeah, we can go up here.
5-0 Generals lead. And this is Aiden Moran. Moran walked in the second, grounded out in the third.
Number 2, Aiden Morris up to the plate for the Generals.
I'm sorry, I said number 1. This is number 2. This is not Aiden Moran. This is Aiden Morris. Morris in the game.
I beat you all.
Number 1 and number 2 got the same first names, look the same, but this is Aiden Morris. And Coach Vossbinder told me he was going to get him in the game. There's a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Up with it, going to have to make a quick throw across. Not in time. Rush is going to score. Boone Rush scores from second. Error on the throw.
You just go on your legs,
Batting for the
Charlie.
Generals, number 21, Cooper
Or
Shaw.
you can actually.
This is Cooper Shaw up now.
I had never known.
Outside, ball one. Okay, that was Tate Kelly, number 12, that scored, was running for Boone Rush.
Where's Charlie? Thing has a ton of slivers.
6-0. Shaw at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a ball foul down the third baseline.
Did you see that?
All right, the pitch was the ball. The count's 3-1. A throw down to first. If you wonder what I was doing then, I was taking my sunglasses off. I can actually see better.
Let me on.
The pitch. Ball fouled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count is full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 1 on. Bottom of the 5th, 6-0. Generals lead. Win tonight will clinch the PIL title. Throw over to first. Shaw flied out in the second, flied out in the fourth. So he's hit the ball hard. Once to left, once to right. There's a ball foul down the left field line. Runner was going that time too. The pitch, runner going again, inside, ball 4. Shaw walks. Morris heads down to second, Shaw down to first. Caden Patterson at the plate.
Hudson down, number 16.
Patterson singled in the second, struck out in the fourth. 3 runs in for the Generals. They lead this now 6-0. Inside, ball 1. That ball in the dirt, runner's gonna go. You see the ball goes by the catcher, it's still in play. The catcher turned around and asked the umpire for another ball, and the umpire just took a step away from him like, I'm sorry, son, but the ball's still in play. You better go get it. Two balls, no strikes, the pitch. And there's a strike.
I'm saying anymore.
So there's a runner down at third, runner down at second as each of them moved up on that pass ball. Another foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on.
It's my first game. And
6-0 Generals. Caden Patterson at the plate. Ball hit to center fielder. Center fielder coming in. It's going to drop. It'll score 1. Here comes the runner and score 2. A 2 RBI single for Caden Patterson. Morris scores. Shaw scores. Patterson down to first base. 2 RBIs. And this brings up Bachman. We've almost batted around. This is the 9th hitter in this inning. And it's now 8-0. There's the ball hit to center field. Center fielder going back, looking up, calls for it, underneath it, and the catch. Bachman flies out to center. All right, let me get the totals for you here. 5 runs on.
Now our last trivia question is, what MLB player attended a PIO school and hit 398 home runs in the MLB?
1 hit, 5 runs on 1 hit. 1 runner left on base, 8-0 as we head to the top of the 6th. The trivia question that they were just asking, what Major League Baseball player hit 398 home runs in his career? Wilson player Dale Murphy.
Hey.
And actually, I think he has 399. I think he finished 1 short of 400.
What's your name?
Colin.
Who?
Colin.
Colin?
Yeah.
I know you won this. I'm going to give one to Coach Frank for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, top of the 6th and coming up for the Madison Senators. It will be the number 5 hitter, the pitcher Hank Sturr, then the right fielder Pat Dalton, then the first baseman Darius Smith. Huck Sturr steps in. Grounded out in the first, flied out in the third. There's a ball hit over the third baseman's head, goes over Lambden's head into left field. Sturr gonna go for 2. Here comes the throw into second. No, Sturr stopped halfway down the line and came back. And a wise decision as Shaw put that ball right into second base. A runner would have been out. What looked like a sure double to me, and great throw by Cooper Shaw. So Sturr with a single. And this is the right fielder, Pat Dalton. Struck out in the second, grounded out in the fourth. We're in the top of the 6th. 8-0 Grant. Boone Rush on the mound. There's a pitch just high. Rush set, looks over at the runner on first. The pitch. Another ball over Lambden's head. That's going to be a base hit. 2 straight balls hit right over Lambden's head down to third for a base hit. Sturr goes down to second, Dalton down to first. This will bring up Darius Smith, the first baseman. Struck out in the second, grounded out in the fourth. First baseman playing way in. And a ball, 1 ball, no strikes.
You'll start halfway. See you, Colin.
Rush set, outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So 2 straight balls hit almost in the exact same place. Line drives over Kenji Lambden's head. There's a ball in the dirt. 3-0 the count.
All I do is sit on it. Sit on it and just like barrel over.
3 balls, no strikes, 2 on, nobody out. The pitch, there's a strike right down the middle. Smith was taken the entire way, 3-1 the count. Pitch, and that's high, and that's ball 4, and that's going to load him up. So Stir down to third, Dalton down to second, Smith on first, and with the base on balls. Bases loaded, nobody out. Curtis Fields, the second baseman, up. Struck out in the second, walked in the fourth. Well, let me make sure now. Fields is number 5, and actually who I see is there is number 8. Let me see if we got a name on the player there for number 8. We don't. Actually, no, it's number 5. Curtis Fields is at the plate. Number 8 was the on-deck batter, and that's the player I don't have a number on. So Caleb Morris at the plate, the third baseman. Struck out in the third, singled in the fourth. Bases loaded, nobody out. Pitch in the dirt. Ball 2. Rush has got no place to put this guy. Set from the stretch, looks, fires, and there's a strike. 2-1. Pretty deliberate pitch. Rush was going to throw that pitch for a strike no matter what it took.
You're good, Charlie. Easy.
Sets, fires. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A little bit of breathing room for Rush now. The pitch. There's a chopper foul over into the first base dugout.
Yes, I wanted.
Set, crossfire, outside.
Yes, one.
All the way outside that time. The count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 3 on, nobody out. Top of the 6th, 8-0. Grant. Rush sets, fires, and that pitch is low and a ball, and that's going to walk a run in. So Fields with the base on balls. Stewart scores. Dalton goes down to third. Smith goes to second. Fields at first. And this is going to bring up Morales, the third baseman. Struck out. There's a strike. He struck out in the second, and he singled in the fourth. 8-1 now. Still nobody out, and the bases are full. Dropped a curveball in for a strike. Big pitch for Rush that time. No balls, 2 strikes. He's already struck out Morales once this game. Sets, fires, swing and a miss, and a strikeout. Boy, Rush needed that. Seven strikeouts in the game for Rush, and 1 out, and this is the top of the order, Hank Kern. He struck out once also. Reached base on an error, walked, struck out. There's a pitch, that on the outside corner for a strike. Runners all get a big lead. Tried that slow curveball again, missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a strike. Rush fastball that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The sacks are packed. The pitch. Oh, he tried to drop the curveball in again. Ball 2, 2-2. Kern was looking at it. Rush, the pitch, fastball, and that's a strike. Called 3rd strike. Ace strike out of the game for Rush. And I think that's going to be enough. It is. It's enough for Boone Rush. 2 out, top of the 6th, base is still loaded, 2 out. He struck out the last 2 batters, but that's enough. All right, we got a pitching change.
Pitching change for the Generals, now pitching.
This is Gavin Clyer.
Gavin Clyer.
Clyer finished 2 games last week, one of them for Boone Rush, and then the win over Lincoln in the big game last Friday night. So Gavin Clyer on the mound, the left-hander. 2 out, bases loaded, top of the 6th, 8-1 our score. I mentioned earlier Jack and Mary Kane, and they just walked by and waved at us. Mary was a ballerina in New York City. While we got a pitching change going on, I played in the Portland Beavers old-timer game. I'm telling Ryan this story. And I singled, and I was down at first base. And Jack was coaching down at first base. And I got down there, and Jack said, "How you doing, Dave?" And I said, "I'm okay. My knees hurt, though. We're playing artificial surface at Civic Stadium." He said, "I can get you a pinch runner." Now, keep in mind, it's an old-timers game. It's before the real game, but all my friends are there watching me. I said, "Yeah, pinch runner would be okay with me." And he said, "Okay, let me get a pinch runner for you." He signals to the dugout, and out comes Artie Wilson to run for me. Now, for people who know the name Artie Wilson, they know that he was a Major League Baseball player in the 1950s. He's 80 years old, and he's going to come out and run for me. To this day, I've never lived that down. In fact, the story goes, Artie Wilson was playing for the New York Giants, and when they sent him down to the minors, they called Willie Mays up to replace him.
Number 10, Miguel Campos for the Senators.
All right, this is Miguel Campos. 2 on, 2 out. Gavin Clyer on the mound, the left-hander. Got a great fastball. There it is. And a strike.
Good, how are you?
The pitch. There's the ball hit sharply. Third base, slammed and over to first and retired. Clyer comes in and gets the job done. Ground out 5-3. 1 run. 1 hit. 3 runners left on base. After 5.5, our score here is Grant 8, Madison 1. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Due up for the Generals, it'll be Lambden, Wagstaff, and Scott. In fact, that's who led off the last inning for the Generals. Generals batted around last time.
Me and Kenzie.
And so Sturr still out on the mound for the Madison Senators.
Government camp.
I love when they play that song. Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play.
I think some Italian place.
All right, Lambden at the plate.
Number 9,
Bottom of the sixth.
Lambden leading off the inning for the Generals.
Huck Sturr on the mound. There's a pitch, low, ball one. Generals had 5 runs last inning in the bottom of the 5th. Outside, ball 2.
That picture's pretty good.
Inside, ball 3. And the catcher throws the ball back, throws it low, it gets by the pitcher. Sturr with the ball back up on the mound. 3-0 the count. There's the strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. There's the ball hit sharply down the left field line. That's going to be fair. Lambden going for 2 and in with a stand-up double. Kenji Lambden with his 2nd hit of the game. He had a single last inning, and this brings up Wagstaff. Wagstaff walked in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 5th. So he's 1 for 2. Well, nope, we got a pinch hitter here. This is not Wagstaff. Wagstaff's a left-handed hitter. I'll get it for you in just a second when I can see his number. All right, this is hitting for Wagstaff. See his number, Ryan? Nah, he hasn't turned where I could see it. Lambden down to 2nd to pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 10. Okay, it's number 10. That's who we are. And that is no, I'll get my list out here in just a second. I know I'm overlooking something. Popped up to the shortstop. Oh, that was Garrett Brown. I'm sorry. So the first out of the inning, pop up to the shortstop, and that was Garrett Brown. And so this will bring up Spencer Scott. Scott, the shortstop, grounded out in the 1st, reached base on an error in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, and scored. He scored twice in this game. 1 away. There's a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 6th. 8-1 Generals. There's the ball, gets away from the catcher. Lambden will go down to 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clyer will pitch the top of the 7th.
Yeah, Will Dasher dropped it down.
The pitch inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Popped up, second baseman calling for it underneath it, moves around and has it. Looks the runner back at third, 2 out. So a pop up to the shortstop, a pop up to the second baseman, 2 down. And this will bring up a pinch hitter for Caden Siegel.
23, Nolan Miga, now batting for the Generals.
This is Nolan Miga. Miga, the sophomore.
That song was dedicated to Nolan Miga.
So Miga is a catcher. He's hitting for the catcher Siegel. 2 down, runner on third. That's Lambden. He doubled. Doubled, went down to third on a pass ball.
Pitching team for the Senators, now pitching number 13, Pat Dalton.
And we've got a pitching change. Stir had gone 5 2/3. He'll be replaced by Pat Dalton. Dalton started this game in right field. Right-handed pitcher.
How's Ryan doing? Did he himself?
I think so. Oh, he got a house. His place to live next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is he gonna have it this summer too?
I think so.
Hey, Dad, you got a cheeseburger?
Kind of exciting.
Dalton, right-hander, comes right over the top. Takes a big stride.
Can you go with the Maine this summer?
New Hampshire.
Hey, Dad.
21 years old. Exciting.
Dad, I found it. I think it was a foul, Dad.
So Lambden heads back to third. Steps on the bag. Nelson Miga at the plate. Pat Dalton on the mound. 2 out. Bottom of the 6th, 8-1. There's a ball hit sharply to left field. Left fielder underneath it, puts his glove up, and the catch. And that retires the side. No runs. 1 hit. 1 runner left on base. After 6, Grant 8, Madison 1. And coming up for the Senators here in the top of the 7th to face Gavin Clyer, it will be Noah Gallagher, the shortstop, Elijah Newman, the catcher, and Huck Stir, the pitcher. And Gavin Clyer, the sophomore, is becoming the closer for the Grant Generals. Closed that game out last week that Boone Rush pitched. Then closed out the game against Lincoln. That was the game Kenji Lambden pitched. And now here we are against Madison and Gavin Clyer to close this one out. I'd mentioned to Coach Fossbinder ahead of time. I said, boy, for a sophomore, he's got a lot of handling pressure. And he said, well, it's what our closer has to learn, and he's doing a good job.
Leading off the inning.
Noah Gallagher comes up,
Noah Gallagher.
hit by a pitcher in the first, singled in the third, struck out in the 5th. Here we are in the top of the 7th with Gallagher to lead it off. Fouled up into the netting. No balls, one strike. Ball hit foul down the first baseline, sharp foul ball. That rolls out onto the field and have to go get that one. All right, we're ready. Gallagher steps in the box. 0-2 the count. Clyer inside, ball one. That's Miga behind the plate. Came in and hit for Siegel. Stays in the game behind the plate. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. Second time Gallagher's went down swinging. And this is the cleanup hitter. Elijah Newman struck out in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, and grounded out in the fifth.
Number 20, Elijah Newman, batting for the Senators.
There's a strike. Pitch low. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a ball fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss and a strikeout.
Number 9. Oh, that's not the number. Number 9, Huckster, is now batting for the Senators.
This is the pitch. This is Huckster at the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Foul tip, strike 2. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, top of the 7th. We're a strike away from this being over. Gavin Clyer has faced 3 hitters, struck them all out. There's a sharp hit ball, hit down to third, backhanded, crossed the diamond on the throw, and safe. First baseman had to try to scoop that, scooped it and then dropped it. When he picked it back up, he didn't have his foot on the bag.
Number 13, Pat Dalton, batting.
So this brings up number 13, Pat Dalton. Started the game in right field, then went to the mound. He's a left-handed hitter, 1 on, 2 out. Clyer sets. There's a ball hit back into the netting. No ball, 1 strike. The pitch. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dalton. Stir down at first base. That pitch low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Clyer shakes his head. Pitch. There's a strike. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 1 on. Top of the 7th, 8-1 Generals. Clyer sets. Runner goes. Little chopper foul. Darius Smith on deck. Clyer set from the stretch. Another foul ball down the left field line. Outside, and there's a walk. That'll send Dalton down to first base. Stir goes down to second. And Smith will be coming up. Smith struck out in the second, grounded out in the 4th, and walked in the 6th. 2 on, 2 out. High, ball 1. And the dugout yelling at Clyer to settle down, throw strikes. And there's one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Runners get a lead. Infield back. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Smith struck out in the second. The pitch hits him. So a hit batsman sends Smith down to first, Dalton down to second, Stir down to third, bases loaded, 2 out. Fields up. Curtis Fields, the second baseman, struck out in the second, walked in the 4th, and walked in the 6th. So Clyer struck out the first 2 batters, and now an error, a walk, and a hit batsman's got the bases loaded. And that ball low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Clyer set. Infield back. Popped up to right field. Boone Rush looks at it, glove up, and catches it. And this game is over. Put this one in the books. Fly out to 9. No runs. No hits. 3 runners left on base. Final score in this game from Walker Stadium at Lentz Park. The Grant Generals clinch the PIL title. They've now won, 17 in a row. They're 18-4, and they've clinched the PIL title. Final score, Grant 8, Madison 1. A big performance. Generals still have 1 game left in league play against the Madison Senators. Then they have 3 games against teams from Salem, 2 against West Salem, and 1 against Sprague, and I believe we're going to be covering the Sprague game. I want to remind you that we are Oregon Sports Beat. You can go to our website, OregonSportsBeat.com, and you can get a listing of what we have coming up. But I'll tell you, tomorrow night we'll be at Delta Park at 7 o'clock. We have girls lacrosse. It's the Central Catholic Rams and the Clackamas Cavaliers. And Thursday afternoon at 3:45, we'll be back at Delta Park for girls softball, and that will be the Central Catholic Rams and the Barlow Bruins. So I know those 2 games. We do have a baseball game coming up on Friday, and that is a Central Catholic baseball game. That's it, Central Catholic and Reynolds. So three games this week. Tomorrow at Delta Park at 7, lacrosse. Thursday, 3:45 at Delta Park, and that's softball. And then Friday, baseball, and that is Central Catholic and the Reynolds Lancers. Aren't they called the Lancers or the Raiders? Raiders, there we go. Okay, I didn't know that. Anyway, so great game here by the Grant Generals as they win 8-1. Want to thank some people. Want to thank both head coaches, Eric Bennett, the coach at Madison, who got us the information, and also Coach Vosbein, who filled in and got me all the information and let me know the situation on Grant. Want to thank the facilities here at Walker Stadium at Lens Park. Our broadcast crew tonight, Ryan Johnson, doing it all of the work, the camera, the engineer, everything, and he's also our producer. So stick with us. We'll see you tomorrow night, Thursday afternoon, and Friday for games coming up here. Go to our website, OregonSportsBeat.com. Again, from Walker Stadium at Lens Park, where the Grant Generals clinched the PIL title, our final score, Grant 8, Madison 1. I'm Dave Hall. Good night, everybody.